However, the start of those, and when you think, because I know Carol doesn't like them, she liked the idea of them, but she doesn't actually like them. So the first one is just setting up a vibration in the heels. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the next one is optional. Sue's looking very sort of like is that you jump. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it carries on. You get exhausted quite quickly. There are star jumps. So if you don't want star jumps, you can just walk them out. On the other hand, if you do want a star jump, just to test how fit we are, or not. So, and then think about slowing down. And then just bounce up and down.
Lou's just in there.
Too late. I am joking, it's alright.
The pigeons dump on all our cars if we park them under the cherry tree. And Phil said, well, he's worked out that they flap their wings to fly off.
Yeah, and that's what they're.
And having confidence problems all on top of our cars. So that's that. So I can feel that. I can. I thought, God, I'm really unfit.
Yes, me too.
So as you're leading the class, let's just. Sorry. When obviously people who live in high altitudes are used to it, there are high altitudes with sort of acclimatisation, where they take place perhaps for 2 or 3 weeks, whereas these exercises are meant to take place over many, many weeks, and you acclimatise gradually and build your lung capacity up gradually, and they're supposed to be
It'd be better for you that way, helpful. I was there on skiing, that feeling sick,
Oh yes.
journey,
Oh right.
especially with someone high,
Mm.
but it gets better.
Mm.
And then just come to lift and roll your shoulders. So another exercise to expand the lung capacity we've done before. Breathing in a little bit, hold it. Breathing in a bit more, hold. Breathing in up the top. You're expanding your lungs like a balloon from the inside. Just let go in one go. Through the nose one way. And again a couple of times to your own breath pattern. They give this exercise at the Royal Brompton, you might be interested to know, for lung capacity. And the reason I know that is because Phil's sister V, of course, had pulmonary fibrosis and was under the Royal Brompton for quite years. And then the one that I don't like as much breathes all in part 2 of this in one go. I'm breathing out. One go. And then one go. And they also say that through shock, surgery, whatever, that some of the muscles can almost freeze, or I don't know what the word would be, but they spasm or laziness, they switch off.
Oh, okay.
And it's not just the lung, it can be overall, and people lose capacity in their lungs without ever knowing it. So when you do exercises like this, you begin to be aware of it, and then the third part, which we won't do quite now, is closing off one nose, where you only focus on one lung at a time, and you can start to feel if, well, we can just breathe normally, closing off one nostril. So when you close one nostril, you're focusing on the opposite lung. So if you close your left nostril, you're focusing on breathing in your right lung. suddenly become aware of inconsistencies in the lung. But don't freak, because the left and the right lung are different capacity-wise anyway. And then just change over to the other side. So what we're doing now is the intro to something called Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. Very calming for the nervous system, but it does have this added benefit of focusing on the left and right lung, and you start to have an idea of where you might be blocked. And then just release. So coming back to yoga, lift and roll the shoulders. Breathing in, raise the right arm, doesn't matter if you raise the other one. And just come over to the left. Breathing in, stretching up. And breathing out, lowering the arm. And then left, stretching up. And we'll go over to the side. Feel that you're between two panes of glass, so you're not coming forward. Chins in, breathing in, stretch up. And breathing out, lift and roll the shoulders. And again a couple of times. How is your shoulder?
Better, thank you. Yeah. More exercise I do, the better.
Okay. And then hands on the hips, just hula hoop a little bit. Feet out a little bit, just to your own capacity. You can bend your knees. And then swirling around in the opposite direction. And then sliding the hands down to the knees, just above the knees, circling in one direction. And circling in the opposite direction. Sliding up, lifting one foot and circling. It will be the foot of the ankle, foot and knee, just in one direction. And then the other. Just the other side, lifting the foot. Another question, if you rip a ligament, does it ever heal? Or does it stay ripped?
No, you can do, but sometimes you need to be able to reattach it, but no, you can do. So you may have scar tissue in it, it may not be as good as it was.
I did something to my ankle years ago, and the doctor said I don't know what he'd done, I think he must have broken it because it was in a lot of pain. But I wondered if it was a ligament. I always picked up it was a ligament at the time, it was left me with a slight dodgy ankle. And then just lift and roll the shoulders. So half salutes to the sun. Bringing the hands to the heart centre. Soften the knees. Up, looking forward or up. Palms together. Come through the centre. Soften the knees. Slide the hands down. Half lift. Breathing out. Soften in. Breathing in. Half lift. Stay here as you breathe. And breathing in, rolling up to centre. Hands up, stretch, and then just circle the wrists down. Palms together. Soften. Hands up, stretch up, almost back. Head centre, come through with hands. Hands onto the knees. Half lift. breathing out, soften in. Breathing in, half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, roll up. Breathing in, raise the arms. And then just circle the wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders, clasp the hands behind you, and aim the knuckles to the ground. Open weave is easier, closed weave is hard but more yogic, so take your choice. Just open the shoulders. And then just turn to the left, come to the centre, and turn to the right. Come to the centre. And release the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then just imagine you're holding a ball, lead with the elbow. Go to one side, you can lift the heel if you want to, or just stay on the ground. And then lead with the other elbow. You're balancing the weight from one side to the other. So it's helpful for the pelvis, but it's also a mind exercise. And then lowering the hands. And just almost wave action. Breathing in. And then full salute to the sun. If you don't want to do downward dog, you know what to do to coming into cat-cow. And there's a choice between plank. If you don't like plank, do downward dog. Or if you don't like any of that, just come straight to the knees to cat-cow. So I'll leave with plank, but take a variation. Breathing in, hands up a little bit like half salute to the sun. Come through the centre. Slide the hands down to the floor, to either side of the feet. Step back with the right foot, left right foot up. Really stretch the right leg. Choose whether you do plank, downward dog, or come to kneeling. So coming into plank, left foot back, straight line. Then bend the knees to the ground. Bring your bottom back to stretch out your back. And then slide onto your tummy in Sphinx pose, so you're on your elbows. Breathing in, breathing out, lower the head, slide the hands to the chest, elbows up. Elbows up and in, to press down on the hands to come back to kneeling. Tuck the toes, either cat-cow here or come straight into dog. Walk the dog, otherwise do cat-cow. If you're on your hand, we'll come to our hands and knees. Drop the knees back down to the ground. Hands to the left. Right foot comes up. Hands to either side of the right foot. Tuck the left toes, tummy in. Lift the left knee. And then step the left foot to the right. Hands onto the shins, half lift. Breathing out, curl in. Half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, press the feet down and rolling up to standing. Hands up. Stretch up, almost go into a back bend. Head upright.
And circle your wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders, clasp the hands behind you, knuckles to the ground. Separate the hands. Soften the knees as you slide the hands down the backs of the legs. Hands to either side of you, your feet. Step or slide your left foot back. Keep the left leg extended. Tummy in, perineum in. Choose. Downward dog, from hands and knees, straight line. Then bend your knees to the ground. Bottom comes towards the heels, stretching out. And then slide onto your elbows, sphinx. Press the elbows down to pull yourself forward, and then lower your face to the ground. Slide the hands to your chest, elbows up and in. Press down on the hands, come back to kneeling. Either stay here in cat-cow or tuck the toes to come into dog. Walk the dog. Tummy in. Both knees to the ground. Hands go to the right. Step up the left foot and hands to either side of the left foot. Tuck the right toes, tummy in, lift the right knee, and step or slide the right foot to the left. Hands onto the shins, half lift. Breathing out, come in, half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. And breathing in, press the feet down as you roll up to standing. Hands up. And circle wrists down. Again. A little bit faster. Hands up. Hands down. Step back. Right foot. Left foot. Knees to the ground. Bottom towards the heels. Come to slide onto elbows, sphinx. Lower the head. Slide the hands back, elbows in, come to kneeling. Either cat-cow or downward dog. Walk the dog. Bend both knees to the ground. Hands to the left, right foot up, hands to either side of the right foot, tuck the left toes, lift up the left knee, slide the left foot to the right back, hands onto the shins, half lift, breathing out, curl in, breathing in, half lift, stay here as you breathe out, soften the knees. Roll up vertebra by vertebra. Hands up. Circle the wrists down. Clasp the hands behind you. Open the shoulders. Release the hands. Slide the hands down the backs of the legs. Hands to either side of the feet. Slide back left foot. Stretch it out. Choose. Plank or roll down or come to the hands and knees. Now come to your knees. Bottom towards your heels. Come onto Sphinx. Lifting up, then breathing out, lower the head. Slide hands back, elbows up. Come onto kneeling. Come to downward dog as an option, or stay on your hands and knees and cat-cow, walking the dog. And then lower the knees to the ground, hands to the right, left foot up, hands to either side of the left foot, tuck the toes of the right foot, lift up, right foot to left, hands onto the shins, half lift, breathing out, carry on, breathing in, half lift, stay here as you breathe out, breathing in,
arms up. Circle your wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Raise the arms, hold the elbows, and just sway from side to side. Come to the centre and lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Step forward with your left foot. We're going to do a modification of Warrior One. Breathing in, soften the left knee and raise the hands out, opening the shoulders. Breathing out, lower the hands. And breathing in, raise the hands to where it's appropriate for you. Hold the breath. And breathing out, lower the hands. Step the left foot back. Lift and roll the shoulders. And step the right foot forward, as little or as much as you want. Move the right foot out if your balance is off. Breathing in, soften the right knee. Just opening here, opening the lungs, opening across the heart. Breathing out, lower. And breathing in, raising the arms to where it works for you. Hold. And breathing out, lower. And step the right foot back. Lift and roll the shoulders. Keeping the head still, raise the eyes to an imaginary 12 o'clock. Come through the centre of your clock to your 6 o'clock. Come through to the centre and go to your 3 o'clock with both eyes. Come to the centre and go to 9 o'clock with both eyes. Come to the centre. Take your right hand to close off the right side of your face. And with the left eye, we're going to do the same. Raise the eye up to 12. Lower the eye to 6. Come through the centre and move the eye to the 3 o'clock, to the right, your left, your other eye will move. Come to the centre and then move the eye to the left, to the 9 o'clock. Come to the centre. Lower the right hand, and we're going to do the same on the left. So block your left hand, left face. Raise the right eye up. Down to 6. To 3 o'clock. And to 9 o'clock. Release the hands. Rub the hands together. And when they're warm, just place your hands over your closed eyes. Open the eyes into the darkness of your hands. And then just remove the hands. And then for the ears, second or third finger, if you turn the nail forwards, putting your hands in your ears, and press the pads of the thumbs backwards, you're on the vagus nerve. It's opening the ear, but if you stay here for long enough, it's calming the nervous system. And then release, and get your thumb and second finger. And starting at the top of the bottom, just pinch the ear ring or pinch the flesh between your thumb and your second finger, release. And just move down the outer part of the ear. The outer ear, you might have something to say on this soon, reflects the body. And I think I got it the wrong way around. I thought the top was the head, but apparently it's the other way around. Anyway,
No, I thought top was
the head. I thought top was the head. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because
It doesn't matter because you're not focusing on anything particularly. So.
no, but any
Just the whole thing.
It's just.
Yeah.
And if you want to improve, just pulling your ear out is helpful for the hearing, and just moving the ears and not something we do very often. And then release. And then just getting your finger and your thumb and second finger, just pinch the inner eyebrow and release. And just go along the eyebrow, pinching and releasing. Pinching and releasing. There are acupressure points. So an acupressure point is where there's a dent. So there's a dent to the inside of the eyebrow, the eye. And then in the middle is a nick, and then the outside will come into the temples there. And then with your fingers like waterfalls, just very gently tap onto the eye. Is that quite helpful for sinusitis? I think it is.
Yes, it's a part of Indian head massage.
What is it? And then you might have had enough standing. And we're just going to come to hands together. We come to a seated position, legs out in front. Toes up and away. With times. Tongue here.
It's much colder sitting on the ground, isn't it?
Yes, it shows you how the heat goes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's such a different.
We're in a sort of different layer here.
We did try to think about underfloor heating. It wasn't possible with the system that we have.
It's not a criticism, it's not a matter, it's just noticeable, it's quite funny.
The other way, just going to give myself a cramp. See my right foot just kind of going into a cramp. And then just hug the right knee into the chest, just underneath. Just likes this. She said she likes this exercise.
Sort of hanging anything else on a dangle.
Just dangle. And then just move the knee out, ankle over. Just take your left hand and circle the ankle manually. And circle it the other way. This exercise wouldn't really be complete with something you probably don't like at all. If you can't bear your fingers to thread through your toes, go over the top, that's supposed to block the energy. Otherwise, just thread your fingers through and just manually move your toes up and down. So I think when you do that manually, you're stretching at the base of your toes, which is that sinusitis as well?
Mm-hmm.
An immune system or no, lungs?
Lungs is across the balls of your feet at the back.
Okay. Oh, where? Only.
Yeah, across
There or down?
well, just the whole
The whole thing.
from there, so
Okay.
there, yeah.
And I think you said, so the right foot will correlate with the right lung.
Mm.
So if it's stiffer on one side, it's another sort of like, feels a bit sore. And then just release, just hug your knee in, place the right foot on the ground. Just rub your right knee. And then bending your left knee. Just hugging in. If you take your foot off the ground and extend your right foot, you'll be engaging your abdominal muscles. Open to the left. And the same thing here. Just circle your ankle one way. And then the other way. And then if you can't bear, just put your hand over, but if you can bear, to thread your fingers through. In yoga, these foot exercises are found in a group of exercises called Paramukstana. It's moving the winds of the body, the energy of the body. And the asana is asana bit, Paramukstana. And they're part of the first series of anti-rheumatic exercises. So moving all the joints is good for that, arthritis type sort of things.
and just release, and again, just perhaps move your knee. And then just very gently place the foot on the floor, just hands to either side of you to lift up. We've not really done particular twist, so just very gently turn to the right. Your left hand can be holding your thigh, or if you want to be very yogic about it, you'd open your hand, your palm up outwards. And then bring your head back to centre. And then your body back to centre. Just lengthen your body, tummy in. And turn to the left. Lengthen your body and turn. And then coming back to the centre, just lengthen the body again and feel that you're leading with your chest. Come forward and then just sliding your hands to forward bend. So wherever works for you, you can hold your shins, you can hold your big toes, you can hold the outsides of your feet, whatever works for you. A forward bend is one of those asanas that they say if you do nothing else in yoga, you just do one pose, and coming forward could be one of them. Calming for the nervous system, stretching the back. Not too far forward that you're straining yourself, just comfortably forward. And just very gently, when you're ready, sliding your hands up, and we're going to come to bending the knees and lying on our backs. Any particular requests, any particular things that you particularly want?
Stretching out the hips and
So, try and remember if the candle's there. Oh, God. So just hug both knees into the chest, clasp your hands and just rock from side to side. The head might go with the rocking. And then hands on each knee. If you want to include core within this, then you would bring your tummy muscles in and use your hands less, but whatever works for you. Circle the knees. You're opening the knees apart from each other, so they go forward together, open and circle back to go one way. So this is working the hips. You feel it also in the lower back. And then knees together at the top, hug the knees into the chest, then open them and circle them to meet at the top, so you're going in the opposite direction. And then hugging both knees into the chest. Breathing in as you extend your left leg and left arm up behind you. So extend the left heel. Stretch. And then when you're ready, as you breathe out, you hug your left knee back into your chest again. And just rock slightly from side to side. And then when you're ready, raise your right leg and your right arm behind you. Stretch the right heel, stretch the arm as far as works for you. And then when you're ready and you next breathe out, hug the right knee into the chest. And and just rock from side to side. And then twice more in your own time to each side. And then this very familiar, hugging your knees into your chest, and let both knees move away from you to arm's length as you breathe in. Hug both knees into the chest, and just carry on to your own breath. Again, if you want to really hug the knees into the chest, it's more satisfying on the lower back. But if you feel that you want an abdominal workout, then lightly hold your knees and let your tummy do the work, which is much harder. That's the more yogic way. You're engaging the perineum fraction, 10% of your total capacity, 20% maximum. But choose where you feel most comfortable. And then hugging both knees into the chest, move the knees, they're glued together almost as one movement, circle both knees in one direction. So that your weight are concentrating on that lower part of your back, massaging around the lower back in a little circle. And then just circle your knees in the opposite direction. And then supporting the legs underneath to place the feet onto the ground, palms down. And just pressing the feet down, lifting the back a little as much as you want. Raising the arms up above you, they can be bent or straight. It's a bridge. And then breathing out, lower the arms, lower the back down to the ground. Hug the knees into the chest. And just rock from side to side. And once more, placing the feet onto the ground. This time, palms down with a couple of pelvic tilts. Just going onto the lower back. And then we're going to come to roll to one side, come up onto our elbow, and just stretch the legs out. The underneath leg just bends slightly. The top leg, just hold the ankle and just stretch back. You'll feel it in the top of the leg, and that's your white blood cells, I think. It's part of your immune system. It's like a modified dancer. If you want to stretch your lower leg out a bit, that's fine, just be comfortable. And then either roll to the other side or just come however you want to just gently come to the other side. So this is our dancer, just stretching back. And then just release. And then come to a seated position that's comfortable to you. And just circle the wrists one way. Circle the wrists in the opposite direction. And then just pull from one hand, each finger in turn. Just shake out. And then the other finger, the other hand, fingers of the other hand, and then just shake out. And then just sitting up. It doesn't matter if your legs are out, just a couple of cat cows. Breathing in, sitting up, breathing out. And funnily enough, this is stretching for the lungs as well, because it kind of lifts you up, and very uplifting for the mood when you sit up. And then just hands to either side of you. Just raise your right arm bent at the elbow and slide to the left. Tummy in to bring you upright. And then just, you can rest on your hand or your elbow into the other side. Press down to come up. Tummy in, just walk forward slightly. Not a lot, lead with the chest, stretching out. And then tummy in to slide the hands back. Bring hands to the heart in either prayer or to either side. And just have a thought for the day. You're setting your intention. Let that go. Just a few breaths. Lock your right nostril. So as you're only breathing in and out through the left. And then either drop that hand and use the other hand, or use the ring finger of the same hand, doesn't matter, to block the left nostril. Really breathing in through the right. If you've got a blocked nose, then don't totally block your nostril, just half block it. And then drop that hand and just take a few breaths consciously through both nostrils. Just feel if the breath is any different. If you slightly smile, your lips closed, the corners of the lips upwards, you might feel the breath go to the back of the throat and up, seemingly in a slightly different way. And then just hands to heart. Take a bow for yourself.